smash a window.
Oh, no.
I know, disaster. A confirmed narcissist, or
Confirmed narcissist.
And there's a lot of sex. Are you identifying with that?
What is actually wrong with the Derby picture at this point? But why do you think Aidan O'Brien gets it so right?
I think Aidan O'Brien gets it so right because...
No, didn't do it well.
Sacked.
Did it well.
We're back with another episode of Running Loose, and it's the show where we discuss horse racing loosely, let's face it, and a lot of what's going on in our lives and the world more generally to an extent. My name is Francesca
And I'm Vanessa and look, there's no politics in this show. The world more generally.
The world according to Vanessa and Francesca.
Yeah, which is small and
yeah.
revolves around ourselves.
Yeah, indeed. So actually talking of ourselves, what have you been up to?
Some multiple points. So first of all, you look ridiculous.
In a good way.
Well, yeah, but in a sort of like we're recording a podcast.
Yeah.
So explain yourself.
Well, I've just come straight from work. This is my outfit I was wearing today to the races at York. It was the second day of the Dante Festival, literally down the road, although it did take forever to get here with the traffic. And I finished on air at 5 o'clock and it's now 6 o'clock and I couldn't be bothered to change, let's face it. And I thought I'd give this another run. Little charity shop number.
Little charity shop number, a little silk skirt and a sexy little over-the-knee boot.
Do you like it?
Honestly.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it. I'm here for it all, but
Thanks.
It's just very funny because here I am in double denim. I don't think I have ever in my life worn double denim. And then this morning I got up and I thought, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be a double denim person.
You're going to rock the double denim.
What do you think?
It's a strong look. I like it. And I apologise for the mud all over my skirt because my children came racing today.
Yeah.
Obviously, I wasn't wrangling my children at the same time. Lovely Yaz was looking after them, but they came for a little cuddle afterwards, and Nina's slightly wet, slightly muddy shoes got all over my skirt. But never mind.
Just going to roll with that. It's fine. Any news or views from behind the scenes? Not on the track. Any gossip or news from ITV today?
God, I feel like so much has been happening. Today, gossip or news, a few results on the track that I didn't expect, so that kind of slightly put me off my stride.
Okay.
It's been a really busy time of year. Got to Chester last week, there was a bit of drama and gossip there. Well, not so much gossip, but drama because there were a couple of horses slipping in the first race. So then racing got delayed by an hour and a half when they assessed the track.
By the way, adds to my theory that being a clerk of the course is the worst job in the history of the world.
Job in the world.
Because Eloise... Quayle, well done. Eloise Quayle, clerk of the course at Chester, can't do right for doing wrong.
Yeah, I know. And if you put water on the track, then someone's not happy. If you don't water it, other people aren't happy.
And then there were you having to fill for an hour.
Well,
what on earth did you talk about?
It made it quite exciting. It was a bit different. We're so used to being relatively formulaic. One race, pre-race, you preview it, got the race, review it, onto the next race, etc. And suddenly you're like, right, we've got no action, so what are we going to do? And then everyone was just bouncing around, and I went to the pre-parade ring and was just there with the
actually has to do some work for once.
Interesting. I really enjoyed it. I was there like, what's going to happen, chatting to people on the go. And I think it made for relatively interesting TV in a way.
Maybe you should up your ante to be like a news reporter. Could you be like a on the front line news reporter?
Well, like in a war zone. You did say front line.
Yeah, I did. I meant more like the political front line, maybe.
Oof, politics. I'm not sure it's really for me.
Well, or a war zone.
Yeah, I think I'd rather a war zone.
Really,
than
would
politics.
you? Interesting.
You?
No, it wouldn't be for me.
No,
thanks.
No.
I have had a less glamorous week than you at Chester and then York. I locked my keys in my car.
Oh no.
Which is just so disappointing.
Can you actually do that these days?
Can I just also be clear? It was a hire vehicle, so I didn't have the spare set of keys.
Oh no.
And it was due to be collected that day so that I could get my other car back.
Disaster.
And so I chucked all my gym stuff and the keys in the front seat, shut the door, went to go open the back door, and it was locked.
I can actually see your story and what's it called? And
raise
you, exactly. Yeah. I once did that and I locked a small child in the car at the same time. I had to smash a window.
Oh no.
I know, disaster. Anyway.
Well, yeah, because I thought if my dogs had been in the car,
I
didn't get back into my car until 5 p.m.
And
Two locksmiths later, 300 quid. It's a bad Monday morning mistake, that.
That's annoying.
It's a bad Monday morning mistake. I was unhappy with myself for that. Put me on the back foot all week.
On Monday as well.
Yeah, 7 a.m. on a Monday when I was trying to go to the gym and do the good thing.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I'm training with my friend at the moment, Fat Jack. He doesn't listen to the pod, so it's fine. But he's a really good friend of mine, and I'm training with him in the gym because our PT's on paternity leave. And so we go, but what I've realised is there's nothing like having a PT. And then if you train with somebody like Jack,
You just end up chatting.
Yeah, there's a lot of chatting going on. Anyway, I was delayed for the gym because of the fucking keys in the car. Monday was bad. Monday was a bad day. Tell you what I've also done this week, which is very exciting because I'm really enjoying it because I get to talk about myself for an hour, is I had another therapy session. Started therapy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, when you say another, you've
Had a few
couple.
so far, yeah.
How's it going?
Well, I really enjoy talking about myself for a full hour. It's great.
Yeah, you have to pay someone, but
Yeah,
hey,
but-
they just have to listen to you.
Exactly.
Like, exclusively.
It's wonderful. No, I'm really enjoying it. She did say to me at the end of the session, she was like, how are you finding it? And I was like, I'm really enjoying it. And she said to me, she's like, I don't really think you're meant to enjoy it as such, but do you feel like you're getting something from it? I was like, oh yeah, but I'm really enjoying it.
So tell me, any particular reason for
No,
starting?
I basically realised that I train my body, so why wouldn't I train my mind? That sort of theory. And I think even in 2026, I do think there's like a stigma around saying it. I think literally there'll be people listening being like, oh my God, what trauma has Vanessa been through? There's no trauma. Like, it's not about that. It's not some big drama. I'm not there talking about something terrible that's happened in my life. And I'm not there crying either. But it's just good to kind of put thoughts out there to somebody who's completely uninvolved from your life and then just have a better handle on dealing with things, really.
Yeah, and I presume from anything from issues at work or issues with or relationships with friends, family.
I've
there's
spoken
so many
about
things.
all sorts of topics in there already, and you kind of like move subtly from one thing to the next, and then she sort of gently connects the dots. It's just really interesting. I really love like learning and thinking and at how different people's minds work. So I actually am really enjoying her kind of dissecting me. Basically, it's still
What she
all
found
about
out.
me.
A confirmed narcissist or
Confirmed narcissist.
what have
No,
we
she hasn't got
established?
there yet. Actually, she hasn't.
Okay.
She hasn't got there yet. But no, I think she's just joining a few dots. It's just interesting. I find it
Do you go
interesting.
in there thinking I want them to analyse me and give me answers about who I am, or is it more about just talking through things and coming to answers yourself through talking?
Yeah, it's that.
Yeah.
It's that. You'll talk about something, like a work-related issue or like you say, a relationship or something, and then she'll put a theory out there and then I'll sit with it for a minute and then like part of the theory might be right but not all of it, and then that just helps you get to a conclusion.
Yeah, no, I think it's
Like,
very
have
sensible.
you ever
I
had
actually
therapy?
think I have had a couple of sessions, yes, and I think it's something that, well, like you said, there is a stigma attached to it, but wrongly, because I actually think it's something that everybody should do all the time, not because there is a big issue, but because it's an unbiased ear that can give you a different perspective. And look, I totally would. Actually, if I had a good recommendation of someone who'd be good and if I could carve out the time, then I totally would.
well-
I think it's a bit like actually going to the dentist. Like, you kind of ignore it for a while, and then if something is
Totally.
bad, then you would go and have a few sessions to kind of get things back on track, but then maintenance is probably good.
And I think one of the things that really put me off was trying to find the right person.
Yeah.
But sort of recommendation through a recommendation that got me to my lady. And it's expensive and it takes time. I have to drive 40 minutes and I sit there for an hour and I drive 40 minutes back. Loads of people don't have the time. So I get it. And I'm not going to become one of these like preachy people that's like, I'm going to therapy, so everybody else should too. But I'm in the early stages and I already can see it's going to be very beneficial.
Well, I am glad for you.
Train the body, train the mind, guys.
Good.
Yeah.
Well done. I like that.
I'll tell you what is exciting for you this weekend. And some people will be listening to this, by the way, as we just turn tack completely. Some people will be listening to this and the outcome will have already happened. But of course, Apple away.
Yes, so big weekend for
Big weekend.
All Gold Racing, because they have Apple away going to the French champion hurdle.
Yeah.
So she has been a bit of a star for All Gold. She was a Grade 1 winner at Aintree a couple of years ago over the hurdles. And then this season she started off well, and then she had a setback. She had a stress fracture. She had a couple of screws put in her joint, and then she came back with a really good win at, where were we? Where was it?
Perth.
At Perth.
Beating Panic Attack.
Beating Panic Attack. And then the plan had actually always been to target this race in France, back over the hurdles. And what's great about it is the journey.
Yeah.
So much of racehorse ownership is about the journey. But there are 3,000 people involved in the ownership of Apple Away, because it is a mass ownership endeavour. And 100 people have gone to Auteuil for the journey, and 60 people have been given owners and trainers passes. So
60?
they're really getting into it
Wow.
and embracing the event, and they're all staying in the same hotel. They're all going for drinks at the same place the night before. And it's just a lovely concept because so many people are getting behind it and sharing the experience.
And the whole premise being this like Perth to Paris thing. I mean, it's just
To Paris,
it's brilliant.
I like that.
Yeah, I love that.
I like that.
To be fair, Ed said, I think that was from Ed or Pete. I didn't make that up. But like the idea that, you know, the horse has 3,000 owners, officially has 3,000 owners. That's not an exaggerated number. That's how microshare syndicates work. But it's unbelievable when you think about
when you say it like that, it does
If you put
seem a bit
3,000
mad.
people in the car park out here, it's a hell of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It is. And look, everybody going there will be thinking, my horse is running in the French Champion Hurdle. It doesn't matter that they're sharing it with a lot of other people, but it's taken so many people on, like I keep saying the word journey, on a brilliant journey.
Go on.
I'll say it again.
Road.
With his horse. And look, she gave Old Gold one of the best days.
Long day.
At Aintree, winning the Grade 1 over the hurdles. And she's continued. And what I love about it is that she's trained by Lucinda Russell and Peter Scudamore. She's such a favourite in the yard. And they always say, don't think she's the most talented horse in the yard, but she has got such heart and real will to win. And Peter Scudamore, who rides her a lot, he cries every time he talks about her. He absolutely loves her that much. He's quite an emotional person.
Oh, God.
But yeah, win, lose or draw, it'll be a great experience.
I mean, 3,000. Like when you think about that, I know that's how microshare syndicates work, but it's an unbelievable number.
It's a lot, isn't
3,000
it?
people.
It is. Well, when you're paying £60 to £70 per share, which is the case with all the Old Gold horses, that becomes a lot of people that can go along for the journey. I keep saying the word journey.
That's very exciting. So we've got that over the weekend. I tell you what, we also have over the weekend Rivals returning.
Rivals.
Did you watch?
Slightly passed me by. Is it back for another series?
Passed you by. Been counting down the fucking days.
Yeah?
Can't
Were you a
wait.
big fan?
I'm a fan because it's basically my life.
Your life is like a Jilly Cooper novel.
Well, it's your life.
Ish. So who are you in Rivals?
It's not about
Who
that.
do you most identify with?
I don't know who I identify with on the show so much, but what I mean is when I watched series, I haven't seen series 2 at this point, by the way, because it comes out tomorrow after we're recording this, but I loved series 1. And I can't even really remember the storyline, but I just loved how it was done. I thought it was very funny, very clever, great characters. But one of the things they did so well is like each of the sort of main 7 or 8 characters could be their own lead. You know, they're just so good in their own right.
What did we make of Rupert Campbell-Black?
Oh, people were disappointed in him, but you really get over that after a minute or
Not
two.
disappointed?
I don't know, was I disappointed? I don't think so.
When
Were you?
When we
You
all
were.
read the book as youngsters,
Yeah.
I think we all kind of had him as such a like pin-up, and probably everybody envisioned a different version.
Well, I think so,
due to
yeah,
what
that's the thing.
they like.
Yeah.
Well, when I first saw him, I don't
even know who that actor is.
No, nor do I, but
Not happy with him.
not happy with it.
Well, whilst we're on the topic of Rupert Campbell-Black and you not being happy with the casting choice, how do you feel about his riding in the saddle? Don't you think that's awkward when
I actually can't remember. Was he all right?
he's sort of like thrusting around, you know? Like thrusting.
Yeah, but
Aggressively
if we want to talk
thrusting.
about that, Wuthering Heights, the latest one was even worse because it was like the world's slowest horse that they managed to find.
know.
And he was going off to try and save her or see her before she died. I'm just thinking, please give him a faster horse because he might have got there.
And what about, I mean, that's the most recent film I've seen with actors riding horses. What's the best actors riding horses?
Actors riding, well, best horse films.
Yeah.
Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit is so good. And they actually get a lot right in Seabiscuit.
They do. Hard to make horsey films.
Secretariat, sorry. I think I prefer Secretariat.
You've seen Farlap?
No.
That's also very good. But I think it's important having films like that because it kind of gives people a love for the industry, for the sport, through storytelling. And I think that's so important.
We need more of that.
Did you hear they're going to make a new National Velvet?
I didn't hear that, but that is exciting. Is that factually correct, or are you just...
I did hear that from Sarah, actually. Stylist
Right.
Sarah. She's
Stylist Sarah, the newswoman.
yeah, well, she told me. And I think she met someone at Badminton who was making it.
Okay, that sounds quite
I don't
legit.
think it's out in the news,
That does
but
sound
I think
legit.
It's quite legit. And she was like, why do we put you forward? I'm sure you could pass for a 16-year-old. I was like, Sarah, we're all the best women in the world. She's like, they need someone who can ride.
There you go.
Authentic, horsey person. I'm like, I think that ship may have sailed.
Well, you are
Despite the fact
very
that I can't
youthful,
act.
in fairness.
Am I? Definitely not 16.
viewers, listeners out there, let us know. What's the best riding on-screen performance you've seen?
Or the worst.
Or the worst. There's some bad ones, actually. Maybe worst is actually more fun. What's the worst on-screen riding you've seen? Do you not think it's quite, I'm not saying it's our reality. I'm not saying that Rivals Series 1 is our reality.
It might be
but
yours.
it's quite... Stop pinning it on me,
Well.
right? It's TV.
Yes.
We're both in TV.
Yeah.
It's horses.
Yes.
We're both in horses.
Yes.
And it's a bit of other excitements.
And there's a lot of sex. Are you identifying with that?
No, it's been a barren land, actually.
So it's basically not your real life, it's how you would like your real life to be okay.
There we
Right.
go. We got there in the end.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that in terms of a TV series that came out on Disney, it is not a million miles away from our reality. I mean, look, we're not like clocking people over the head with a BAFTA trophy like that woman did in that final scene of episodes of series 1, obviously. And we're not doing all the other naughty stuff as well. But I'm just saying that it's adjacent to rather than a million miles away from
And
our
it
lives.
is quite funny, isn't it? A lot of the Jilly Cooper novels, how they are quite centred on the equestrian world, whether it's
Yeah.
racing or polo or show jumping. And why is it? Is it a myth that there's a lot of this kind of
Sauciness.
sauciness
Well,
that goes
come
on
on
in
now.
the racing equestrian world?
I
or
would
not?
say, well, would you say it's a myth?
Well, I think there could be a correlation between the fact that people who are involved with horses, probably people that do live, well, probably, adrenaline junkies
That's
who
what
live for
we've
kind
had.
of
Like,
highs in a way.
Have we spoken about this on the show before, or we've had this conversation privately? But this is my theory. You see, is that generally horse racing attracts risk takers.
Yeah.
So if you're a jockey, you're taking a risk for starters. If you're an owner, you're taking a risk with money. If you're a trainer, you're taking a risk 'cause it's just it's a win or lose sport, obviously. And so it's all quite a high risk game. And then if you're a punter, the main thing,
Yeah.
you're taking a risk with your money. You enjoy taking a risk. And so then my theory is that then that leads into pushing boundaries and risk taking in other areas of people's lives.
Well put.
Thank
by
you.
Little segue,
Yeah,
badminton. Did you watch it?
I loved it.
Wasn't it amazing?
Amazing.
So for anyone who didn't see, Ros Cantor won it for the third time on the same horse, which has never been done before,
No.
right?
Lordship's
And
Gruffalo.
the main thing that she did is she won badminton, which is, beginning of May, having had a baby in
15 weeks before.
February?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still blaming my lack of core on Nino, who I had over 2 years ago. When I ride my horse, I get really
Yeah.
tired and achy
It's
because I'm blaming my lack
unbelievable.
of
And
core.
she's 40, is she? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
second
it's
child.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
She's unbelievable. And she's so unassuming as a hero, as a sporting hero. She is. It's almost annoying how unassuming she is because she's just so calm and she's so measured and you almost want more from her. But then again, that is what makes her such an endearing character as well.
And she
Roscoe.
makes it look so easy as well, doesn't she? Her horse is...
Cantering around the pony club event. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Lordship's Gruffalo
Yeah.
is an absolute textbook kind of perfect badminton horse, but how much is that her just making it look easy, and the training and the
Yeah.
partnership that they have. I did feel bad for Harry Mead, who's like the world number one. He had 3 horses going around. He's always knocking on the door of a big one.
He'll win it surely one day. That
He
is
surely
like,
will.
well, that's like one of those things, where like trainers never win a derby, or national hunt trainers never win a Grand National. When we all thought AP was going to have to retire without winning a national, for example. There are those things that just, what's the word? Evade people. Is that the word?
Yeah. And I hadn't realised, watching badminton this time, he broke both his elbows in a fall. I don't know how you would fall off a horse and break both your elbows.
Well,
I
I'd
don't
tell-
know how that happened.
Well-
But he had to have 9 operations.
How do you think that happens, Cheska? You hit the ground with both your hands out and then your elbows
Yeah, but
break.
apparently both the elbows went that way, so they went like against the way the elbows go. But
Ugh.
I mean, you and I have fallen off a lot of horses. I can't picture a scenario where I bend both my arms backwards. Can you?
We're delighted to have Old Gold Racing back with us on Running Loose.
And this season, we have a special offer for our Running Loose listeners. 15% off shares in Slay Girl, who's a very exciting national hunt prospect with Paul Nicholls. Simply use Slay Girl 15 at the checkout.
Wait, that's Slay Girl 1.5 or Slay Girl 15?
1-5.
Got it. And for anyone wondering, Slay Girl is cool kid speak for someone who's stylish, confident, and absolutely killing it.
pretty apt for a mare going into training with Paul Nicholls.
I have had so many fun days, both on stable visits and at the races with Old Gold members. It's a really fun, accessible way into ownership.
As an Old Gold racing owner, you get weekly behind-the-scenes updates, stable visits, race days, and the chance to win owners' badges.
Shares start from just £64.
And one listener using the code SLAYGIRL15 will be entered to win shares in another 9 Old Gold racing horses, plus 2 places at Old Gold racing event at Cheltenham's November meeting.
Hosted by
Francesca Kumani.
There we are. Use SlayGirl15 at checkout.
No.
It's one for the outtakes.
You're right. You're right. You are right.
I don't know. I actually went to university with him. I should get in touch
He's
and ask
very
him
attractive.
exactly how he did that. He's great. We like Harry.
Okay, so that was a segue. Back to horse racing, because we're actually going to run out of time. But the
Already.
main horse racing chat on this show is all things trial related.
That's a lot of horse racing chat. We haven't actually done a podcast since Bo Echo won the 2000 Guineas at
Which was
Newmarket.
unbelievable.
Which was unbelievable. And actually, I was really kicking myself, and all of us were to blame on the ITV
Here we go.
coverage, because we all tried to be too clever about it. Bo Echo was such an obvious choice. And we were all thinking, I quite fancy Oxagon at 12-1. That was who I went with. And then Kevin Blake went with Power Blue at, 30-1 and Avicenna and stuff. And after the race, we're like, oh my God, it was so obvious. George Bowe had been
but
saying the
isn't
horse
that
was
horse
flying
racing?
and like he'd done nothing
I
wrong.
think the thing
and-
is with Bo Echo winning the Guineas, for me, and I get what you're saying, is like he seemed to hit every single marker from his 2-year-old career, the races he won as a 2-year-old, all the way through the winter. It sounded and it felt like he'd eaten every nut, he'd galloped every gallop, he'd canted every cant. Like it felt like everything had gone perfectly.
Yeah.
And I loved the chat from George Bowie beforehand, where he was on a show and somebody said, you're feeling the pressure. And he was just kind of like, I'm actually not, because literally it's been perfect.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to deliver the horse to the race. I mean, he didn't say it like this, but this is what he was saying basically. Deliver the horse to the race. As long as he gets there in one piece, I can't have done anything differently. And I thought that's so cool.
And the best bit about the whole thing was the reaction in the winners' enclosure, because we've discussed it. Newmarket can be a little bit flat, but the way the crowd reacted was phenomenal. The noise, I've never heard anything like that at Newmarket. Billy Loughnane, the jockey, just loved his reaction going over the line, the celebration, the big smiles. He couldn't quite believe it, and he came back in and he was really getting the crowd going.
Yeah, wasn't
standing
he
up in the
just?
stirrups,
Yeah.
Like, come on. And I think it was a very popular winner, both from the jockey and the trainer's perspective, lots of their friends and family around, and it felt like a good win for Newmarket.
It was really magic. I mean, I haven't been to a Guineas in years, and I've not regretted not going to a Guineas. And then I went to this one, and I was so glad I'd gone, because I was there in the paddock and getting all that emotion. The best bit of the whole day was Billy seeing his dad.
Oh, yeah, that was
Did
cute.
you see that clip?
Yeah.
Oh, God, it would break your heart.
Was it better than the bit where Hugo Palmer got head-butted?
Hugo Palmer getting headbutted by Ed Crisford?
Or was it George Scott?
George Scott
jumping on George Bowie
It's
and
rare.
accidentally headbutting
I think
Hugo
that was
Palmer.
one of the angles. It's rare you see trainers celebrate like that for another trainer. That is really
But
rare.
I feel he's very much part of that younger cohort of
And
trainers.
they all live together and have worked together and been assistants together. There's definitely a gang there. I find them quite intimidating, that gang.
Do you?
So Ed Crisford, George Bowie, George Scott,
Thady Gosden?
Tady, put him in there. James Ferg, don't find him intimidating. He's too nice. But there's just like a gang. They're quite a clique. They're quite a set in Newmarket. And I've just never lived in Newmarket, so I just wouldn't know that gang at all.
Weirdly, in Newmarket, there's lots of different kind of generations of people that come through. So my age group were the Ed Walker, Billy Morley, who's now training in America. So the kind of slightly older gang, and then everyone kind of moves off and does their own thing, and then you get the younger lot coming through.
Yeah.
Quite interesting that you say that kind of gang of Newmarket trainers are intimidating. They're younger than you.
Are they? Oh, George Bowie is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But talking of intimidating people in racing, you interview a lot of people.
Yeah.
Who would actually scare you to go up to interview?
Kirsten Rousing.
You bring up her name a lot. I feel like you need to talk about her in therapy next time.
Kirsten Rousing's
What's going
scary.
on there?
I don't get intimidated easily, but Kirsten Rousing is scary.
How'd you get on with Ryan Moore? Do you interview him much?
I've interviewed him a few times. There was quite a lull behind the scenes in my ear from my gallery at Sky when I interviewed him at Lingfield once, and I went for a second question, which obviously with Ryan is risky, and I got an answer, and then he finished his answer, and I said, "Well, I'll let you go then." And the joke being like he was already out the gap. Like the idea that I was the one letting him go was a far-fetched read of the situation. What about you? Who's intimidating?
I don't really interview many people, so I probably like you. I do find quite a lot of people intimidating.
No, but if you had to go out and interview someone, do you find Aiden intimidating? No, Aiden's too nice.
He is nice.
John's
actually.
nice. Gosden's nice. Appleby's lovely.
Not sure.
Not intimidated.
About that one.
Not easy. Who would you be intimidated by? Again, that's a listener shout out. Listener viewer shout out. Who would you be intimidated by?
I actually would find Ryan quite intimidating.
Oh,
Because
sorry. I find Ryan really intimidating,
want-
but I think that's just a given. He's terrifying.
Yeah,
He's
but weirdly, I
terrifying
think
with his
that
own
everybody
sister.
who knows him, like off screen and away
Says
from
he's
work,
lovely.
says he's lovely.
I'm sure he is lovely.
And I would love to kind of bring out that side of him to people at home.
No, but he doesn't
But I
want to show
don't
it.
know why.
But interestingly, at Chester, I saw somebody on Twitter had clipped up Hayley, so Hayley Moore, Ryan's sister, interviewing Ryan off the back of one of those trial wins for Sky Sports Racing, and he'd clipped up the clip, and it's such an awkward interview, and the caption just read, sometimes you think that Ryan forgets he's talking to his own sister, because I mean literally he treats his sister how he'd treat me or you or anybody.
Okay, so we shouldn't feel bad like that.
No, we don't feel bad. No, sorry, Ryan's really intimidating, but it's just a given with him. He's a given. Whereas Kirsten Rousing is scary.
But for George Bowe, first runner in a 1,000 guineas, Cachet wins. First runner in a 2,000 guineas,
Some man.
Bowe Echo wins. I mean,
He's a class trainer. He seems, as far as I know, he seems like a class guy. You know, he's just so likeable. But all that lot are. George Scott's the same. Like, I just feel like they're a good gang of people.
yeah. Which will lead us on to our next topic of conversation. You started with this with the trials. So big time of year currently for Derby and Oaks trials. So the Guineas can be considered a trial for the Derby, but not so much this year. But then we went on to Chester, and then we had Lingfield, and then we've had York this week.
And that hasn't even mentioned Ireland.
I haven't even mentioned Ireland. But the picture that has been emerging over the last few years, well, more and more over the years, is that basically Aidan O'Brien has a stranglehold on the Derby because he very much produces those kind of middle distance horses. And so we go to Chester and Aidan O'Brien wins the D Stakes, wins the Vars, wins the Fillies trial as well. And we go to Lingfield and he won the Fillies trial. William Haggis actually won the Colts trial. But basically when you look at the market, it is dominated by Aidan O'Brien horses. And we kind of get to this time of the year and we go, oh, we really want something else to emerge to make it more interesting. And I sometimes I feel bad saying it because like Willie Mullins is very dominant in the jump sphere, but we're a bit like, oh, not another Aidan O'Brien winner. I feel bad because obviously he does an amazing job and the Coolmore team puts so many resources, time, money, energy, effort into making these lovely middle distance horses. But just no one else has really got anything to compete. So it just makes the Derby picture a little bit samey. And with so much energy and effort and money and time going into promoting the Derby this year in particular, what we need is firstly, good weather. And then we also need an interesting race. And it's hard to sell the race when most of the horses, especially the ones at the top of the market, are trained by the same person.
So ultimately, having said all of that in regards to Aiden, in regards to the trials, what is actually wrong with the Derby picture at this point?
Well, you say wrong. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it. It's just a little bit lacking interest because so many of the main chances come from the same stable. That being the Aidan O'Brien stable, which has an amazing record in the Derby. But when you've got a race like that, you want people to get involved in it for lots of different reasons and to cheer for different teams, essentially. When there's one team with so many good chances, it's harder. And when you're trying to sell the race, you want to sell different narratives, sell different people. And we're lacking that.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. And it's harder to market. I do think that as well from the Epsom team. I think it's a tough market because you just don't know what's actually even going to run at this stage, as we've already discussed. But why do you think, I suppose you've already kind of said it, but why do you think Aidan O'Brien gets it so right?
I think Aidan O'Brien gets it so right because he's a very good trainer, firstly. but also think of the firepower that he's got. He's got access to some of the best stallions in the world, and he's got owners who very much want to win the Derby and still see it as a big target. And essentially so much of the yearling market, the yearling sales, has concentrated on earlier, cheaper, speedier types.
Yeah.
So as a breeder, and you're thinking, well, do I want to try and breed a Derby horse, or do I want to try and breed a Milo or something that'll run at 2, because they're way more commercial? Your middle distance horses aren't making that much money. So the Coolmore team can produce those horses to their heart's content, but the rest of the world can't really afford to.
I agree.
You agree?
That was your life. Is that rant over?
Yeah.
No, I agree entirely. I think it's a really hard sell when you've got just such a dominant force. But I can have that view, but I can also have the view that I respect the dominant force so much, which is basically what you're saying as well. And I think what's added in this year is the lack of horsepower from Charlie Appleby. Everything you've said about Team Coolmore and Aidan O'Brien, correct. They target the Derby, but normally Godolphin have something to throw into the mix as well. And this year they just haven't kicked off their season how we would have hoped. And it actually leads me on to Charlie Appleby did an interview today with Rishi Prasad, and Rishi kind of asked him, the season's not going that well, or you'd like a few more winners. And he just takes it so graciously. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, they'll come. And it's like a real steely confidence. Don't you worry. I'll get there. But, it's been a slow and sticky start.
Yeah.
But as a trainer, it doesn't matter what he portrays to the outside world. Internally, he must be thinking, fuck, I wish I had a winner. Let's be honest.
Like that.
But
no,
no,
the firepower
Aiden,
that he's got. But what's emerging also quite interestingly is we think, from the horses we've seen so far trialling, that the best of them is Constitution River, who won the D-Stakes very impressively at Chester.
Now, pause.
Yes.
Apparently he's a beauty.
He's lovely. Oof. He's lovely. Oh,
Is your paddock analysis?
Oh,
oof.
a
He's
beaut.
lovely.
As is True Love, by the way, who won the 1,000 Guineas. She
really?
is amazing. But it sounds like they might take Constitution River to the French Derby.
Yeah.
Partly because he won the D-Stakes over a mile and a quarter, partly because he showed a good bit of speed as a 2-year-old, but also because the French Derby is a better stallion making race. Discuss.
Correct on all terms. Apparently, when you look down, I don't have a historic mind, so I can't do this and I haven't got my phone with me. But if you look down who's won the French Derby over the years, you go right back to some really big stallion making names. And it's a stallion making race more so in many ways than the Epsom Derby.
And even more so in recent years because it's become a mile and a quarter rather than a mile and a
So
half.
they are going to send him there.
Probably.
Make him their superstar stallion,
and
then tackle the Epsom Derby with a whole host of other horses. But that also
That's how I react.
Sorry, I think another one.
are we being shot at?
What is that?
This is what I can't be on the front line of a war zone.
What is going on?
That is literally an example of why I couldn't be a frontline news reporter. Why is that made you laugh so much?
Can we slow-mo your reaction together?
Okay, well, before we wrap up, we've got a giveaway. This is a giveaway, yeah.
Well, we like a giveaway. What are we
Dun,
giving
dun,
away?
dun. We're giving away this. Would you have this in your house? Don't you think it's
Oh,
lovely?
yeah. I love the
Take that
colours.
off.
And obviously I love the horses.
We are giving away a piece of Sophie Harden art, which is very exciting. She is a artist based near me. You know her as well.
I do.
She does racehorses, equestrian, wildlife. She's really, really good. Does different styles as well. It's not all this. She does portraits too. And we're giving away this gorgeous print.
And this one in particular, I love the colours. It's got this deep orangey background, and it's got the 3 thoroughbreds. Looks like in exercise, morning work, one following the other, and it's kind of long rectangular shape, so it would look great on any wall. And I'd love to have that in my house.
So all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning said print is head over to Instagram, follow Sophie Harden Art, and make sure you're already following the Running Loose podcast, which you should be by now. And then when we launch the competition, there'll be a post on our social medias, on our Instagram account, and you just need to double tap the post so you like it, and then tag a friend in the comments box below. Then you'll be in the draw to win said print.
Tell you what, I don't think we've ever discussed so much in one episode of Running Loose. It's
Quite a
absolutely
lot.
flown by,
Yeah.
hasn't it? What have we done? Half an hour, 35 minutes?
I know,
It's
and
gone
sometimes
so
you're worried
quickly.
about our lack of content.
No, definitely at this time of year, no
Not.
lack of content with so much to talk about, so much happening in the racing world. I think it's been really interesting. Keep following on and listening to this debate as we get closer to the derby, because
Yeah.
the picture will get clearer, especially by the first weekend in June. But thanks for being with us, and we will see you next time.